right, apparently Kevin Durant had Draymond Green on his podcast, so let's talk about it. Shout out to NBA Talk playlist, and they explain what happened in the infamous "You Been to Be" rant. All right, it says Kevin Durant, Draymond Green discuss parking lot car rumor, infamous on the court confrontation. It says in the latest Out the Complex, in the latest episode of Kevin Durant podcast, the ETCs. I don't know what that stands for. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what it stands for. I still don't. But Draymond Green, his former teammate, cleared the air about their infamous on-the-court confrontation. Excuse me. The rumor that 2 weeks before Durant announced that he was signing with Golden State Warriors, the two spoke with one another while a tearful Green was still in Oracle Arena parking lot following Game 7 of 16 Finals. That's when LeBron had a healthy Kyrie and Kevin Love. Kevin Love didn't matter though. Healthy Kyrie and then came back 3-1. He also suspended Draymond for Game 6. Remember that? That really gave them a lot of momentum. And he says on that heated exchange, which unfolded during the 2018 game against the LA Clippers, Green described nearly verbatim what was said between the two after Durant scolded Green for not passing him the ball. Green said, "Hey, mother effer, I do this too. I was going to give your butt the ball if you weren't being so much. I do this too." That's when DeMarcus Cousins pulled Green away and told him to shut the F up. Okay? We got DeMarcus Cousins trying to, calm him down. You know it's bad, right? He said, "No, that's BS," Green responded. "Nobody says S to K. All he had to do was say F and run. And I would have pitched him the effing ball." Durant basically corroborated Green's account of that incident, proving despite their past, the two players are still on good terms. Let's talk about the other part, then we just give our opinion. As the story goes, shortly after the Cleveland Cavaliers came back 3-1 deficit. My bad, starting off the wrong place. As for the parking lot rumor, Durant said two simply exchanged texts about what had just occurred in the 16 Finals, which the Warriors lost to LeBron James Cavaliers, but he never considered it to be a sense of urgency on Draymond's end about getting him to sign with the Warriors in the offseason. Green added, "Y'all added a theoretical sense to make the Ish a movie. You got to make Ish for the TV. You got to add on a little so people just start pouring on. I wasn't about to come out and fight it." As the story goes, shortly after the Cavaliers came back from 3-1 deficit to defeat the Golden State Warriors, captured their first title in franchise history, Green reportedly called the Warriors general manager Bob Myers from the parking lot, urging him to sign Kevin Durant, calling KD himself. Green commented about adding theoretical sense in regards to the narrative that he called Durant with tears in his eyes, but it's unclear where that part of the story came from. Draymond previously acknowledged in a 2016 interview with DraftKings that he spoke to KD before a legal tampering day on July 1st, but he dismissed them as being nothing more than conversation between friends. However, that day arrived and Green said he kept constant contact and admitting sending too many text messages to Durant. Okay. In the same interview, Green revealed that he wasn't actively trying to recruit Kevin Durant. "Me and KD were really talking during the playoffs." He said during the playoffs it's a little different, more at stake, so we weren't talking as much. That's normal. Later, Green gave his opinion on the league's crop of young players. He said he was about as candid as expected. "They soft as hell. I found myself trying to talk ish to some of these young dudes that won't talk," he said, "and they're acting like trying to be friends. That's when these young dudes do nowadays. I don't understand it." So you go to Complex and they got the whole podcast interview there, man. But about the exchange that happens, man, between men, working outside and it's hot, or you working inside the plant it's hot, or you're in a heated battle, you're going to say F you, and, you're going to bump heads. There's going to be turmoil. You're not trying to avoid it. But the media tried to blow it up. But, you know, for the most part, that began to be the poster for Kevin Durant leaving the Golden State Warriors. It was Draymond's fault. You know, and it looked like Draymond said, you a B, you'll always be a B. That's kind of what most people read into it. But at the same time, that's kind of, you know, he was already leaving according to Draymond, because he was saying some slick shit to the media, you know. And remember, it was the Warriors' fault that Kevin Durant missed last season. People forget that. You know, we could just keep going. It wasn't just Draymond. Remember when he got injured and they was playing Houston and they was like, we can finally go back to play how we want to play. Then you got in the finals and they were saying KD was healthy enough to play. Remember that? But he ain't playing because, you know, he's trying to prove a point. And you had all these anonymous people and players in the Golden State Warriors organization. And they was trying to say, oh, Kevin Durant could play. He just don't want to play. He's trying to prove a point. Blase, blah, blase, blah. And he went out there and Kevin Durant, he mentally weak. I don't care. His mama could say something. He mentally weak. He don't know how to just... How is Kevin Durant? He don't know how to just take it. And at some point, you know, when you on social media, if you just got a page or, you know, whatever it may be, you might just, you know, if you got a platform, you gotta learn to ignore. You can't fight every battle. Like if I go through the 32, so he'll be 33 this year. Like, you know, I go through the comment section. I can't fight every battle. Sometimes you gotta just learn to just say no. And just, you know, and block the motherfucker. And just, you can't fight every battle. No matter how many burner accounts you got. And my thing with Kevin Durant, he just never learned the art of just, you know, let it go. He just never learned the art of, you know, it is what it is. I can't win this. I can't change your mind. And I think social media, that's one of the positive impacts. It just, it makes you a lot, if you understand it, you're not going to respond to everything, man. And, you know, I had to learn that as well, too. You couldn't beef with everybody. And really, it's his opinion. You got to move on. It's just the maturity of being on social media, man, for me. You ask any content creator who been on YouTube or whatever for a certain amount of years, they'll tell you that. But at the same time, you know, they was leaking shit to the Athletic and saying that KD wasn't that hurt. You know, and ultimately, he went out there and blew his shit out. I'm going to tell you this, the Warriors wouldn't have won another title without Kevin Durant. And a lot of their fans, they wouldn't. They wasn't good enough. That 72, 73 game season, you know, Steph Curry wasn't showing up like he's supposed to in the finals. If Draymond not got suspended, they probably would have won the title. To be honest, they probably would have won the title if Draymond never got suspended. I will agree with that. But at the same time, they wasn't winning. They wasn't winning again after they lost that one. That's why they went to go kick Kevin Durant. And they always begging Kevin Durant to come and play. You know, ain't no shame. They knew they wasn't good enough. Klay Thompson can't guard LeBron, and neither can Draymond. If it wasn't for KD going over there, they probably wouldn't have made the final. And they did, LeBron would have won the next two. That's why LeBron fans hate Kevin Durant so much. But it wasn't like Kevin Durant had to, you know, audition for them. They was auditioning and begging him to come over there. Because they knew how powerful Bron was and how good him and Kyrie, if they really started to mix. But then again, you know, for the most part, they kind of went their separate ways. Kyrie wanted to be the dude, and he still not the dude in Brooklyn. It's just him and LeBron should have stayed together for a long time and put championships up in Cleveland. You know? And that's just the fact of the matter that Kyrie, you know, he had a Stephon Marbury moment. But about the parking lot, okay. It is what it is. Like I said, they begged him to come there. He went there, it worked. He took a step back. Everybody took a step back. But to be honest, the Warriors was just some hoe ass niggas. That's just what it is. They were. How they did him and sneaking that stuff, he really got. That just showed they care. That's why they won another championship. Not in Golden State, but hey, it is what it is. You know, us as men, we can cuss each other out, go through things, and bury the hatchet. Women hold on to things. So that's how him and KD, Draymond and KD can move on. But hey, check out the NBA Talk playlist. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, response, video request. All my social media link description. Facebook group link there as well too. Want to make a donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Cash App there as well too. That's what to donate. Share the video. Peace.